Sonnies, it's so good to hear from Jenna from Great Expectations. Guys, there's only one more day for the Potatogram. And of course, proceeds are going to Hastings, Main Street, Florida. This one says, I like big spuds and I cannot lie. This is the most incredible, most innovative way to do Valentine's. I love it. We love Hastings, Main Street. We love you, Jenna, and we will see you next week. And now, Booze, we are going to step ball change into this incredible chat. Some restaurants serve meals, but few are serving generations. For more than 4 decades, the Raintree restaurant has been woven into the story of St. Augustine. From milestone celebrations to quiet anniversary dinners, it has become more than a place to dine. It's a place where memories are made. When the restaurant was briefly listed for sale last year, many wondered what the future might hold, but today we are honored to share a story, not an ending, but an incredible continuation. Joining us today, we have Lorna McDonald, owner of the Raintree restaurant. Lorna, welcome to Sunny TV.
Good morning, thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here and to tell this incredible tale of the Raintree restaurant. So take us back to 1981. Am I saying that right?
1981, hard to believe.
How did the Raintree restaurant come to in front of us every day?
So originally it was the Casa de España when we bought it, and we went there for my birthday. I think it was my 18th birthday.
Okay.
My 18th birthday, and when we ordered our dinner, the lady who owned the restaurant went to the Winn-Dixie right up the road and went and purchased all the food necessary. So meanwhile, we spent quite a long time waiting for our dinner and drank quite a lot of wine.
Wow.
And celebrated well. And you start looking around. It's like, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, let's buy the place and let's make something of it. So
Really?
it's kind of how it started.
I never knew that nuance right there.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but actually, how it started. Then we spent probably 9 months renovating the building because it was very small. It's like it had like 6 tables in the front of it. They lived upstairs. It was like So we did a major renovation. We turned the stairs around, different front door. Added on the bar area and the patio areas, and so it was a big change. Then we opened we actually argue whether it was the last day of August or the first day of September. We're not too sure.
It's right there.
It was right
the
there.
threshold.
So yes, back in 1981. And our first night was interesting. The swamp cooler went down. It was like 110 degrees in the kitchen, and it was
my
just
gosh.
it was your biggest nightmare, but we got through it.
It's so funny because when you start new projects, especially when I started Sunny, I feel like the universe or God, whatever you believe in, is going to test you. It's going to be your testimony. Like, are you in this to win it or not? So that was your test right there.
Well, apparently we're in it to win it because here we are all these years later.
It's amazing.
But it was interesting when we first opened. We were cummerbunds and bow ties, and it was very upmarket. Gentlemen were kind of expected to wear jackets and ties, and obviously over the course of 45 years that's changed dramatically. But the one big thing that happened to us in our first year was we won the Florida Trend Golden Spoon Award, which made us at the top 10 in Florida at the time, which obviously was a huge thing. And I still to this day don't quite know why. It's like, because I don't think we were that good then.
Did you have beef Wellington? Was that on the menu?
Beef Wellington has been on the menu since the day we opened.
That's amazing. That
beef
is
Wellington
iconic.
And brandy pepper steak are the two items since day one, and they're still there. And nothing's changed in that respect. But
I love it.
That was a changing point for us. It was winning that award, and that sort of put us on the map and made us more of a destination restaurant.
Okay, and people would come in from all over, right? All over Northeast Florida, even out of state, right?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people that they would, on their way down south, would stop and eat with us, and then on their way back up north, they would stop and eat. But also then there weren't that many restaurants in St. Augustine or Jacksonville for that matter. So, I mean, the weekends was, the Jacksonville people would come down, Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have plenty of there's plenty of restaurants everywhere. So I think that's changed, who your customer base is.
Right. But what does it mean to you personally with the Raintree restaurant over these years and seeing, it grow? I mean, you've gone through ups and you've gone through downs and you've always persevered. But what does it mean to you personally?
Well, I definitely call it my own personal roller coaster ride because, it's the 2008s and, we've had some times where it's like incredibly difficult. You don't know whether you're going to stick COVID, another one that was very difficult. So it's like the unknowing of whether you're going to come out the other end. And lucky for us with, I would say with hard work, we've managed to pull it off. But Yeah, it's a very emotional place for me. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I will always be emotionally attached to it. So-
One thing that you are iconic with in town, and even being a part of the the food service industry, is your staff and the loyalty of your staff, and that's just incredible. It really truly is the Raintree family at that restaurant. You talk a little bit how you cultivated that all these years.
It's tough. That's a tough one. I mean, I think it's just, you know, whatever you give back. We care about our staff.
True.
It's like they are, you know, they're our family. They're our people. It's like, you know,
Mhm.
yes, we definitely have some people that've been there a long time, and then when they. But I'm always glad to see them leave if they're going to, you know, another career. I mean, it's like I think the restaurant business is a tough business. So it's like any time they can, you know, adjust their lifestyle and maybe move on to something else. It's like I'm always happy for them to do that too. It's like,
Absolutely,
you know.
yeah. So let's go last year when everyone was clutching their pearls. The Raintree restaurant was on the scene, on the market, and everyone was completely like spiraling about this news. Can you talk about what that decision was like?
Well, again, very emotional. It's like, you know, it's like it's been there a long time. And I mean, obviously, we realize how many people are, you know, our traditions of, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, all the holidays in particular, and our local base.
Mhm.
You know, those people were very upset with us at our thought process. But I think, like I said, it has been a roller coaster ride, and I think that there's a point where it's like, okay, just getting out completely seemed like probably the easier route, or maybe the cleanest route.
Right.
But, you know, that changed.
You're right.
So,
And you have a beautiful family, and that was part of the reason why you wanted to retire. You wanted to enjoy your grandkids and
Absolutely.
see them grow and flourish in St. Johns County, which is amazing. But then talk about the powerful turning point. I ran into you at the Givers Gala with the United Way, and you told me about this incredible, beautiful news. Share this news with everybody out there.
well, it's sort of one of those of like where I'd say pestering more than anything with my daughter deciding that she wants to like keep this legacy going along with her brother, and I'm just like, you really want to do that? They both have young children. You know, the oldest one of all the grandkids is 5 years old,
Yeah.
and they're 7 of the little Rugrats. So, you know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm envisaging how tough that is. I mean, I was pregnant with both my children in the restaurant, so I'm pretty aware of, you know, how difficult it is to juggle children and
Right.
juggle the restaurant industry. So, you know, which is probably a lot of thought process for me of like, you know, that's just not a good idea for them.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I was wrong.
So how did they like deliver this news to you? Was it like a sit down mom moment, or was this like a
No, it was a full on pester.
Okay.
It's like, this has got, you know, go, I want to do it. I want to, why do you want to do this? It's like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
So here we are now, and, you know, let's go for another chapter, and it's amazing.
I love that. I love that. Lorna, you helped build something so special for generations to enjoy, and to hear this legacy continue. It makes my heart beam. It makes everybody out there that loves the Raintree, that has any love for this beautiful restaurant, just soar to the heavens and back, because this is an incredible moment. So, folks, I want to pivot over to Brittany and Zach, who are going to take over this new legacy. How do you guys feel about this moment?
Well, I was definitely the pesterer
Okay.
of the bunch.
Do you get that from your mama?
I don't know. She's kind of more laid back. It must be a special trait of my own. I don't know.
Okay.
She's not a very big pesterer. But you know, I've had to work her down
Yeah.
over many, many, many months, and finally she's just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to do it? Okay. So. Yeah, but I'm very excited. There's definitely going to be a big shift for me personally. I mean, Zach's been in the business, at night, whatever.
18 years, am I saying that right?
18 years,
You
yeah.
were like the face of Raintree. Like, you walk in, you see you right away, which is amazing, because that's just like a welcome that you're going to still be there. And I think that's what the whole town's going to celebrate as well, too.
I took the brunt of it when a lot of the people were asking about why we're closing and that sort of thing. So
I'm sure.
they came to me and asked constantly what's going on,
Right.
what's changing, what's happening. So but I love it.
Did
Still a
you
lot of
know this was
relationships.
going on behind the scenes, that there was a possibility that you and Brittany were going to take over?
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
off the
hard
bat,
secret
no.
to keep, though, is what I'm trying to get to. Everybody wants to know, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody was asking about it's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
I think you were saying that you were just like, all right, just hold on, like, just wait, something might change,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it took a lot of convincing,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't become a solid thing until as early as the beginning of this month.
Okay.
So, but definitely excited. Things are going to change. They're going to look different, but for customers, much the same.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing really that's going to change in the immediate term, except for I'm going to show up there more. Right. You
Awesome,
might see
yeah.
me on the weekends, but Zach's obviously, he's the front man.
I've gotten a lot of hugs already.
Awesome, absolutely, and that's what this interview is all about, is to celebrate this incredible restaurant. So, Brittany, did you ever have this dream to take this over, or was this something like, I have to? Did you feel like you just you had to take the legacy on?
Well, my mom, don't mean to make her sound negative, but she always discouraged me from pursuing the restaurant just because it's hard. And I always knew I wanted a family and kids. And she's like, it's really hard on that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But ultimately, once the restaurant was listed for sale, I was just, sitting in that. I wanted her to be happy. I wanted to support her and Chris and their desire to retire. But just thinking about it, I'm like, well, I grew up in that restaurant, like Zach and I slid down trays down the stairs and
Yeah.
stole handfuls of chocolate chips to go hide and eat in a corner.
So
and
good.
there used to be a koi pond we'd jump over, so like there were a lot of memories there, and just thinking about our kids and their opportunity to like grow up and be little busboys and girls like
Yeah.
we were, and maybe continue the legacy. So I think it wasn't always I always just expected it to stay there,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I really realized that the possibility that somebody else might scoop it up and run it or destroy it,
Yeah.
it kind of started to break my heart a little bit.
I
So-
know. We were reading the blogs, and people were like, maybe we can finally get an Olive Garden. We're like, no,
No,
we
no.
don't want corporate. No, we love this. So what was the buy-in like with your families? Like, did you have to obviously have a lot of communication with them too? Because this is a complete paradigm shift for you, Brittany, for sure.
Yeah.
And now you're in this leadership role. Was that something that you guys really had to communicate with your families?
I mean, particularly for me, as being there as long as I've been for, the time that I've been in the restaurant, it's a little different transition than obviously for her, changing what's going on in her life completely and taking that on. But, just taking on more responsibility and continuing what we've been doing, and,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what it is for me. So it's easier in my role, at least as far as moving forward, that I've been doing what I've been doing for, 18 years this month. So just happy to keep that going.
Absolutely.
And my husband, Nick, he's definitely my biggest supporter. He was very encouraging through the whole process, and we both acknowledge that we have a lot of potential struggles, evenings where it's dad on duty and not mom, and we've got a great support system with his parents as well. They're
That's
here in
awesome.
town.
Yep.
And I have a great nanny that's going to help out, with pickup and things like that. So we're very blessed to be in the position we are to take on this new challenge, and I'm really excited.
So let's get to the nitty gritty. Obviously, we're talking a lot about legacy and a lot of things that are really, really traditional at the Raintree. What are the new things that you guys are thinking about, maybe to bring out this something fresh and fabulous?
Have you got some ideas, Zach?
Well, I mean, just going into this time and the transition and keeping everything up with the way that we've done things and consistency and all that sort of thing in the transition period. But eventually, definitely, talk about different ideas of different concepts or ideas or things that we can do within the restaurant. But we're not, in my opinion, not looking for any big change. Of course, we want to keep the Raintree the way that the Raintree is, but, there could be some new little, exciting things that we
So
can
Beef Wellington's not
come up.
going anywhere.
No.
No,
basically.
exactly.
Okay,
Those
good.
things
Never.
won't change,
Yeah.
but,
Don't change the dessert menu either, because that is my go-to. Like, I have to go to Raintree for dessert. It's
The
amazing.
crepes. Love the crepes.
Everything.
there won't be any big changes or anything, as
Good.
far as the Raintree is concerned. But I mean, little things that we could do differently or things
We'll
that'll
love to
come
take
up
suggestions,
naturally.
Okay,
post it in
perfect.
the comments, whatever.
Make a nice little suggestion box in the front, so that because
Yeah.
people get passionate.
I mean, I know Zach and I love the bar because we've got our kids all have drinks named after
Mm-hmm.
them. So I've got to add my newest child. He hasn't made the menu yet. But you know, there's always fun little things that we can do to, you know, make it more exciting. I love that there's so many different generations that go through the restaurant, you know, because it's been people's traditions. But
Yes.
you know, the young folks need to come see the cool Raintree bar, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just a vibe in there. It's really cool to go and hang out and have a drink and an appetizer. Make it a stop along the road to boat drinks, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, we just had them on yesterday.
I remember.
We love them so much. Hey, I got to tell you, because I used to work for the Ed Foundation, St. Johns County School District, and one of the most special things that the Raintree does is for Teachers of the Year, especially the finalists. They have this incredible dinner. They never get an opportunity to really have that moment together. So I just wanted to say, like, how much it means for teachers that the Raintree really does support them, and it's such a beautiful moment. Are you expecting a lot more, like, weddings and things like that you're going to be focusing on too?
I think that's a great opportunity, certainly. I mean, I know there's few weddings, you know, on a regular basis, lots of rehearsal dinners. But I personally think that would be a great thing to explore more of, because it's such a cute, quaint little courtyard for an outside wedding. But I don't know, Zach, do you think you want to do more weddings?
Well, I mean, we do a lot of larger parties. I mean, not as many like direct weddings, but I mean, any sort of other events or, you know, promoting more local people to come in, whether it's, you know, different concepts of how to do so. I mean,
Like company parties I see sometimes
Oh,
go,
yeah.
yeah, upstairs. That's awesome.
or yeah, I mean, just to kind of expose it, you know, in a way of having people come in for whatever it may be, but expose them to coming into the restaurant and then kind of realizing to shed some light on the restaurant. Because Brittany mentioned the younger generation. I mean, we have been around since 1981, where it was the suit, tie, dress kind of thing. I mean, we have a mix of people, but I mean, as far as like age demographics and stuff, but I would like to see more, especially a lot of my friends and people my age that never really come in because they just associate it with maybe it being a, you know, higher end
Yeah.
at the time. Like, you know, our menu has quite a big variety in the price, lots of options. You know, come to the bar, have drinks, appetizers, dinner, you know, however you want to do it. But it's a beautiful restaurant, and a lot of people, I think, maybe haven't been because they're, you know, associated with the past and what it, you know, has been. But
Sure.
obviously, as Mom mentioned, we've had to evolve and make some changes and this sort of thing with the, you know, economy and just things. A lot happens in, you know, 45 years. So
Yeah.
we're not exactly what we were when we opened in 81, albeit better.
Yes.
But, you know, it's not exactly how, so it's just adapting to everything and, you know, moving forward.
So, favorite things on the menu. I know that's probably changed over the years, but what was it like when you guys were kids? Like when you would go to the Raintree, like would you have like your own separate little menu? Like, you know, that's maybe not on for everybody. What's like your favorite things?
Just the menu part that I don't, one thing is the chicken cordon bleu. I remember we had for some reason when we were younger. Was that on a kid's menu or something back then?
No, it's on the regular menu. God, that's dated.
It's so good though. I love a
Yeah.
chicken cordon
But it
bleu.
was a really good homemade one that was almost like the ones that you almost get in the, you know, the breaded with
Yeah.
cheese all coming out kind of thing. But for some reason I always remember that. But outside of that, of course, the beef Wellington, the rack of lamb.
Of
you know,
course.
they're
That lamb
really-
is everything, yeah.
Everything on the menu, honestly, is very
Yeah.
good. Just depends what you lean towards. I like the blue cheese crusted filet. I mean, I'm a steak guy, but, you know, those are some of my favorites.
But yeah, growing up, we were kind of well trained to eat everything, so
Good.
we never needed a special menu, and they probably just didn't really want us to order off the menu. Like, stop getting that expensive.
Right,
stuff.
right,
Like,
right.
you
God
know,
bless you.
Get something else. Get a grilled cheese. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've always been good eaters. I'm working on that with my children. It's
Okay.
not easy, so if anybody's got some tips, let me know. But yeah, your kids eat pretty well. I don't know. Mine are
2-year-old
picky.
ate a whole salad last night,
Hey, that's great. Awesome.
and she loved it. So.
So, what's the transition going to look like? I mean, Lorna, are you still going to be a little bit in the background too? What's the whole transition look like?
Well, I think initially, I mean, I'd say for the rest of this year, Chris and I were, well, I mean, we're partners in business, so it's not like we're not going anywhere.
True. Yeah.
But we would obviously like to be in a it'll be a nice thought to go on vacation and think that everything's taken care of and, you know, you're not worried about anything. And so, I mean, certainly through the rest of this year, the trend, you know, we'll be there and transitioning.
Business is normal.
Yeah.
Exactly, business
Cool.
as normal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are great nights for people to book reservations, Zach? Is it any specific local secret how to get into the Raintree?
Weekdays usually, I mean, are busier. Weekends are always going to be our busiest, particularly like Saturdays. I mean, it's never anything for anybody to feel like, you know, you can't come in with smaller parties, 2s or 4s, things like that. I mean, it's never short of obviously the busier times, like, in November, December, Nights of Lights, that kind of thing is when obviously we're the busiest. But I mean, we do get busy, but it's not like, and we have a big restaurant, we're not like a fully, like, you must have reservations, which we encourage people to have reservations. But I mean, outside of that, just really anytime.
Come
But
on with it.
if you're
Yeah.
coming in on the Fridays and Saturdays and that sort of thing, definitely recommend reservations, particularly like bigger tables. But yeah, I mean, there's no secret or day or anything like that. We're happy to have anybody anytime, and we have a nice little bar if people have to wait. So
That's nice. I do. I love that bar little area, and
Yeah.
you can sit. That's great. What are your reservation platforms, or is that just, do you guys do that privately, or how do you do
open
reservations?
table, I mean, now we do quite a lot. Like, I would say overall the majority through open table for smaller parties, which you can book up to 4 people on. We do a lot of over the phone reservations for bigger parties, like 6s and 8s, and obviously the big parties as far as rehearsal dinners or big group parties, which we do a lot of and do very well. But open table is the platform that we use.
Yeah. Brittany, thinking about the staff, how was their reaction to all of this?
I think everybody was really excited to know they had a job.
Yeah.
That it wasn't just going to disappear. I've known everybody, I go in there every Sunday for brunch, and, so people know me, some better than others, the ones that have been there for years and years. So I think everyone's happy,
Okay.
mostly for the job. Hopefully they'll like me. I'm pretty agreeable. I don't think we're going to have any issues.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm really excited to get in there and really learn everything that my mom and Chris do behind the scenes. I did a little front of the house stuff. I've been a busser, a hostess, a dessert girl, a assistant manager, sort of. Not quite as much of what Zach does, but I've helped over the years. And really only since my legal career did I stop going back to help on the holidays and things like that. So I'm hoping it'll just, brush it off and I'll be just like I used to and know all the things. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Lorna, looking at all of this, how do you feel?
I feel a sense of relief, like maybe this is all going to come together and, it'll be good for everybody.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, guys, if there's anybody out there that might be a little nervous about going to the Raintree or don't know enough about it, what's your pitch to get them in the door right now?
I mean, I think it's just a super fun place. There's outdoor seating. I don't know about you, but we live in a beautiful place, and it's great to sit outside. There's really cute gazebos. Bring your daughters. They'll feel like a princess. Bring your
Yes.
sons. They'll love it, too. The desserts, like you said, are fantastic. So, the kids will be happy. The kitchen is quick. You'll get your meals, There's really nothing bad about it. And like Zach said, the menu is really diverse and very approachable price-wise. So there's really no deterrent.
Yeah.
Come on
And
in.
I'd say we're pretty kid-friendly, more so than we used to be maybe in the initial days. So when people think of the Raintree as for what it is of maybe being this dress-up nights, date night sort of thing, but we have, in changing the menu and changing some things, been a little bit more kind of casual-ish, like so to speak. So I mean, as far as bringing kids in and feeling comfortable and welcome there, we have a lot more kids. We have a beautiful outside area, of course, when the weather is nice. And even for some who maybe have some more louder, rowdy kids, Sunday brunch is always very good. And,
Yes. It's the
sit
best in
outside.
town, yeah.
And a lot of people come in and bring their dogs too, which, I mean, again, when the weather's really nice, it's, beautiful courtyard
Fur
area.
babies are important.
And
That's
we are
awesome.
pet-friendly outside too, so
Great.
always a plus to people bringing their dogs, particularly Sunday brunch. People love to bring their dogs, but
Absolutely.
they're always welcome at any time. So yeah, I mean, we're very open, welcome to, everybody, kids, pets,
Yeah.
And if you've been before but not in a while, come back.
Yeah, it's so special. It is such a special restaurant, and then your time is so special. So I wanted to thank everybody today for coming on and talking about this incredible legacy. You guys seeing the next generation coming forward? You're feeling it?
yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, those little kids, we're going to put them to work when they're old enough.
Yes, and then love the restaurant because there's nothing like it. You guys are totally St. Augustine's first family, and it's such an honor for you guys to be here. So thank you,
Thank
and
you.
very much.
cheers to the Raintree, everybody.
Yay.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance. It's okay, I can turn it.
Just all smile awkwardly for a while.
It says stop interview.